Hello and welcome to episode 29 of Ryan and Robin Wrexham, where today we play in the FA Cup final against Manchester City. Can we get our first real major silverware? We didn't manage it last year because of United. We hopefully can do it this year because of playing City. But, our record against City this season is not great. We lost 1-0 at home to a Phil Foden 81st minute goal, and then 3-1 away with Makoko getting a goal for us. I assume I probably Luke Hayward up front that time and Colm Whelan up front that time, so no real idea what team to go for today, but let's see what it is. Now perhaps I've overthought it, but perhaps I am the greatest manager of all time, and we have Garnacho playing up front today, so no real striker. Hansen Aaron's been so good in the FA Cup, I couldn't really not play him. Dont on the left-hand side with him, and then Rebchuk starting on the left because Warburton is still suspended from that completely nonsensical tackle that he did in the penultimate game of the season. This is going to be a very, very tough game. City are a very good team, but I hope we can just nick a goal and hold on to the lead for dear life. It's not going to be easy. They have got Makoko up front as well, and we all know what he can do. He's quite a player on Football Manager. Callum White, Katanich. Not quite liking how much pressure we're putting ourselves under here. Good bit of play there though. Hansen Aaron. Oh, I thought Hansen Aaron was going to get to that. That's a bit frustrating. Brett Powell there to win that header though. Callum White running to the byline, finds we're in the lead. Garnacho as the striker today, scoring from Dont's little laid off header, and we have the lead against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Surely we can't do it, but if we can, that would be incredible. Adeyemi back to Laporte, goes past his man and scores straight away. These players are they're too good. I've got a championship team here. I've somehow got them to Europa League when we were 1 point off Champions League, but they just can't quite compete with those top players even when we do get in the lead. It doesn't take very much for them to get back. You have to work so hard to get a goal, and then all it takes is one attack and they're back on level pegging. Not easy. Right, looks like we're getting through to half time at 1-1. Gonna go for the most motivational speech that FM has to offer. Getting revenge against your current opponents. No idea if it will work. We hope it will. But you never really know because it is Football Manager and you're playing a bigger team. It's not easy. Bo's very unhappy there. I'm not quite sure why. Chance to counter here. Garnacho. Can he lead the charge? Please don't lose it. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it. And now City are probably going to go and score. De Bruyne finds Adeyemi in behind. Savin, thankfully, steps out in time to meet him. Why have you passed that back there? What are you doing? Stop. Can we stop putting ourselves under pressure, please? What are you doing? What has that achieved? Sometimes our players are morons. We did that recently in a game where Savin and my defenders were pissing about with it and whacked it straight to an opponent. It's so annoying. I want them to play out the back, but I don't want them to just pass it between themselves nonsensically for 15 minutes. All the while being pressed heavily by one of the world's best teams. Ederson's able to catch that one pretty comfortably. Hernandez back to Ederson. Laporte. Oh, poor clearance from Edison. Don's in behind. And that's not going to be scored. Would have taken a frankly ridiculous header to go in from there. So it's time to get Hayward here. Don can go on the right. Although he does need to come off pretty soon. Ethan Galbraith can come off for Victor Hugo, I guess. Not inspired by these options, to be honest. I think I've got to keep on Don. Because Manovic can come on for White and hopefully get a late cross that I can head in with Garnacho or Hayward. Oh, this is a good position for a free kick. Please, Don, if ever there was a time to score from one of these. Yes! What a free kick from Dont. And what a time to step up for his team, just as I got into attacking as well. And this is a corner for City, so no doubt this will be a heartbreaker. What? That has to be match fixing. What has he just done? What? Oh, so much of this second half of the season has been so frustrating. It's just absolute stupidity a lot of the time from my players, and it's so frustrating because we did such a good job to get to the positions we were in. Oh my goodness. Savin's gone from one of the best keepers in the world in the first half of the season to really, really stressing me out on a weekly basis with his passing. I'm so sick of seeing other teams that we play in finals going up for... whatever. We weren't expecting to win. We did have a pretty good performance in spite of that stupidity at the end. And it's just one of those things, huh? I wonder how much money we'll get to sign players and whether anyone will want to come, because we still don't really have a great reputation as a team that's come from non-league to the Premier League. I'm hoping the frustrations of this season will just make it all the more rewarding when it does happen, but I don't know, the players just haven't really developed this season. Even though we've done really well for a lot of the season, we didn't manage to get a lot of players that went up in star rating or many stats. We have managed to get into the top 6 and therefore get the Europa League, but it could have been so much more. Again, we were the biggest overachievers, as we were in the Carabao Cup. Neither time we won. It was a season of almosts, but frankly, we need to get more than 12 goals for our top scorer next season if we're going to get anywhere near Champions League. But yeah, we've done a really good job even without that this season. And 48 goals scored in 38 games. That's not that impressive. Where were we? 12th in goals scored. Goals against did start to creep up again, but only 3rd actually, so not too bad. Hopefully we can continue to avoid conceding next season, but we need to start scoring some goals. Well, here's the season review. It's a weird season because we've done so brilliantly, but I just feel so frustrated. It's a bizarre one. Anyway, so here we have Lewis Alsop, very popular with the board because of a lower wage than expected. He was okay. I wasn't blown away by him since he came in. Hugo really turned it around after a poor start and actually got our 2nd highest rating of the season. Dont, then, I was very happy with 6 goals, 8 assists since coming in from Club Brugge. Katanic did pretty well as a reasonably cheap option. Stanijevic didn't start very well, but was starting to come into his own towards the end of the season, so quite enjoyed having him. Trago was okay. not outstanding. Warburton, I was very happy with signing him, and most of the season he was really good. Last few games was not happy with him, particularly that red card that potentially cost us Champions League. We were, even if we just drawn that game, we would have got Champions League. So thank you, Drew, for completely messing that up. Kuzmanovic then did pretty well. He was a backup option, so not outstanding, but useful player. Hayward was okay. Lorenzo was very good in the Cups, not too much in the league. And then Hansen Aaron started to come into his own a bit more, particularly in the FA Cup. But towards the end of the season, he did some good stuff. We slightly beat the expectations of fighting bravely against relegation, so I'm glad that happened. Sponsorship went up a lot, broadcast revenue up humongously, same with competition prize money. Our reputation is still only national. Oh, you are having a laugh. We got to FA Cup last season, the final. This season we got to Carabao and FA Cup final, and we're in Europe, and we're still national 3-star. You just can't win, can you? Ugh. Anyway, Callum White made it into the bench of the Wrexham best 11. Hansen Aaron came into the starting lineup, and yeah, that's that. So how are our players doing? Yeah, Conor O'Malley, the only player still at the club. That won't be the case for long. Fight bravely against relegation again. Do we have to reach the group stage? Surely we've already qualified. I think we've already qualified. I'd like to think we've already qualified. What are the plans for next season? Yeah, well, the players seem happy about that. And the same there. Right. And yeah, let's see. So, Premier League. What happens if we get sixth? Yeah, group stage. So we are guaranteed to get the group stage, which is very good. Just a shame that it wasn't the Champions League, because we were so close, and we're probably not going to get there next season. A few more end of season things. We've managed to make quite a big profit there, and that means we haven't broken any financial fair play. Tax bill of £14.5 million, new scouting budget of 753,000, which allows us to scout the world, and 46.44 million with 650k per week. What does that mean for the wage budget? 149,000. It's a decent amount, and our stadium capacity is not big at all. Only 500 more being given to us. Wow. And yes, so we've got Category 1 youth rating now, so that's a very promising sign for the future. How is David Yupp doing? He's okay. I could maybe do better. We'll have a look. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode and this season. We've done really well, as much as I am complaining because I've been frustrated. But I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. But in the meantime, have a fantastic day.